Good morning and welcome, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on a hump day. Happy Wednesday to everybody out there. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And I'll just let you know, got another big-time gold special out there. We'll keep you in the know here, starting in the next segment. But as it is right now, Escape from L.A., wow, the big fire out of nowhere. You know what? These things matter now. You're like, wow, the Palisades and tens of thousands of people being evacuated. You're seeing cars burnt up and houses burnt up, and thinking, well, these Californians, it's their problem. Oh, no, my friends. Once again, this is the new trend now. We have insurance nightmare problems everywhere. If you own a home or a car, you know what I'm talking about. You know what's happening with your mortgage insurance and all of this other stuff. Auto insurance. Auto insurance has gone absolutely insane. And this situation, it's going to make it worse. It's going to make it worse. No, and it doesn't matter where you live. See, that's the thing. These insurance companies, they're not stupid, right? They're like, hey, we're going to jack up the price in California. We're going to leave in California, Florida, all the Gulf of America, right? Yeah, we got to get to that too. This is something, all of these things are going to matter now. Every single one of them. I really wish California would get their act together and, cut the grass and trim the forest. So it's stuff like that can make it better. But you know what? Hey, you know what? We're all in this thing together. And then, of course, I got to love, Donald Trump's been out talking about, hey, maybe we'll buy Greenland. Maybe we'll retake the Panama Canal. Heck, how about Canada? We'll just take the whole thing. We'll call Canada the 51st state. And then I guess the guy that may be the new prime minister in Canada, because Trudeau is out, was saying, well, maybe we'll buy 2 U.S. states. We want Alaska and Minnesota. You know what? Nah, hands off Alaska. Minnesota, half of Minnesota lives in Arizona anyway. But no, it is really crazy. Even the governor of Colorado, Jared Polis, piped up, hey, before we make Greenland a state, we got to do D.C. and Puerto Rico first. You know what? Puerto Rico's voted. They vote they say no, so I don't know. Jason, the world has gone crazy. 2025, it's going to be just as chaotic, maybe even more chaotic than 2024 was.
Yeah, we'll have to see how much of this is bluster and puffing up, and how much of this is real. It seems like a bad reality show, doesn't it? Some of this stuff you're talking about. I mean, buying land. I don't know why a nation that's $40 trillion in debt should be buying Greenland. I don't know where that benefits America. I don't know. Taking other countries. There's a history with Panama. The guy that kept Panama free from America's control. That guy was he was offed. He was relieved of duties. He was relieved of duty. Back in the time, it's kind of funny we talk about this because it was President Carter who just died. He negotiated Panama's deal with the regime that wanted to stay free of America, and then that guy was, he had I think it was a plane accident, small engine plane accident, but he was able to keep Panama out of the clutches of the American system. So. I find it interesting that Trump wants to go back there and reclaim it, I guess. So I think there's going to be a lot of Central and South American activity in the next 4 years. I think Venezuela is on the clock, just like Iran is.
Yeah, and I saw a thing. Speaking of Iran, there is, how do you take these things? I don't know. But they report there's a 90% chance that the Trump administration's going to bomb Iran. I mean, I don't know, right? I mean, how do they come up with 90% chance? But I kind of felt that way as well, because what did I do? One of my predictions for 2025 is we're going to bomb Iran. Somebody out there was talking about a 90% chance. I don't know, the world be a changing, that's for sure. I mean, the Greenland thing's a head scratcher for me, but apparently, I guess maybe at one point in the past, we kind of looked into it. Of course, right now, Greenland technically is a part of Denmark, I think. And they're saying that they're going to get their independence. And people are talking about, Jason, like a lot of things. Strategically important location, not only for, I guess, military. They got a lot of minerals, apparently, in Greenland. And then I love the Canada thing. I mean, how far off are we? How far off are we? Right? Is it just going to be, hey, right? Let's just...
I'm just wondering why. What's the reason? Why? Why do we need Greenland? Someone needs, there's a motive to the crime, right? We need to know what the motive is.
You mean it's not for minerals? It's not...
Well, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I need to hear it,
Yeah,
why?
Of course. By the way, Greenland heavily subsidized by the Danish government because they can't survive on their own. We'll be back. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Wednesday. A quick look in at the markets. The Dow is down. Not a lot, about 30 points, 35 points. The S&P's down 10. The NASDAQ is down 46. We had more stress, if you will, in England today. We'll get to that today. The 10-year note broke above 470, taking out the high from last year. Right now sitting at 469. Another not so great auction yesterday on the 10-year note. If we have time, we'll get to it. Crude oil is down. Gold is up 15. 26.65. Silver is higher as well, $30.15. The Japanese yen and the British pound struggling this morning. The 10-year gilt, AAE, the British 10-year Treasury, hit a 17-year high this morning. And guess what? The U.S. 10-year note, it's on the clock. It's going to do the same thing here if it breaks 490. But, Jason, this is something that people got to be prepared for now. It's going to be easier for us than it is, say, for Japan, than it is for Europe, even for China as well. Because we know, listen, everyone, they all do the same thing in concert. We do. This is what they do. They've opted for grow our way out. That's the option. The debt markets are saying, nah, that's probably not going to work. And it doesn't matter what domino falls first. Does Japan fall first? Does France fall? Does England fall? Does Germany fall? Canada fall? Right? It doesn't matter. The bond market says, hey, this isn't going to work. And this is the situation of why we keep telling you, please Please get diversified here. I know, I get it. Dow's still 42,000. And Donald Trump, right? We love tariffs. Right? By the way, the dollar skyrocketed today on news. So the Washington Post, I think on Monday, said, oh, no, Trump's going to work a deal and not really put the tariffs on, just a couple of things. And then, of course, Trump tweeted out that's a bunch of BS. Today, CNN is saying Trump's going to use emergency action to force these tariffs immediately. And so as of right now, Trump has not come out on Twitter or Truth Social to deny that. He denied the Washington Post story, hasn't yet denied the CNN story, but Jason, neither here nor there. This is the decision it's already been made. It's been made. And I know that people want, hey, it's going to be great. Unfortunately, we're in a situation now where the debt markets are kind of fully priced, right? And the bond markets of the world are saying, okay, yeah, wait a minute. We know how to do that. By the way, Fitch, I knew it was coming. Already now warning about a downgrade as the debt ceiling for the U.S. approaches. Here we go again. Get diversified. Do not wait. What's the harm? What's the harm? Hey, I took some of my money and put it into a gold and silver IRA. I took some of my money. I bought some more gold. What's the harm? Right? When you think about, we know what happens when these bubbles break. We do. We don't know when, but we know what happens. And it gets ugly, and it gets ugly in a hurry. If you need to set up a precious metals IRA, you got a big IRA already. You can do it. It's penalty-free. Easy to do. Arlene is here. She handles all our IRAs. She'll walk you through the whole thing. She'll hold your hand through the whole thing. She'll help you fill out the paperwork through the whole thing. 800-951-0592. And Jason, I'll just say this. I'm sorry, I'm watching these headlines. I want to see if, you got to watch these headlines. This is how fast they come. It's an interesting thing that is playing out. We had jobs, so it's jobs week to this week. So ADP came in light. So ADP, that's the private sector. ADP, they do payroll. That's what they do for a lot of companies, and they've got a pretty, I guess, good idea of what is happening in the business sector. Their number came in light. 122,000 jobs. That was below expectations. That was below where it was last month. I wasn't too surprised. And then jobless claims. And this was one of those that leaves you scratching your head. So ADP misses. They were expecting the 140s, got 120. The biggest drop, by the way, manufacturing jobs. One of the things that stood out in ADP was construction jobs was up 27,000. That's kind of odd because it's wintertime. But that's what they said. Manufacturing and mining were down. The big job gains, education. Education was half of the job gains, 57,000. Leisure and hospitality was 22,000. So that was kind of low, especially with, Christmas time and all of that. But then jobless claims came in. Only 201,000 people. But then all of a sudden, that was seasonally adjusted. Unseasonally adjusted, 300,000 people lost their job for the very first time last week. So, Jason, kind of a mixed bag. You know, the realities are they like the softer ADP number, and then they gave the jobless claims number a pass because the non-seasonally adjusted was over 300,000. Now, that would be, if that was the seasonally adjusted number, I think you would have the Dow probably up 200, 300, 400 points. Gold would probably be up, I don't know, 50, $60 because that would be outrageous. But it was the non-seasonally adjusted down 300,000 jobs, which I think would be normal, right? Because it's after the holiday.
That makes sense, Joe. Yeah, I agree with that. It's the job market. What do you say? I think the job market probably gets rougher than from here on out, right? Doesn't it just get worse? And if it gets worse, then where do the numbers in the coming months go? And then, of course, then we end up going with the rate reductions and the inflation. You go back to that same old song, which is, how are you going to react if the job situation deteriorates, right?
Yeah, and I don't know. You know, it's so hard. I feel like I don't live in the best place to tell people, right? Because Phoenix, there's still growth here. There are jobs. There's not great jobs. I will say this. All of the 20-somethings, and they're all walking around with their college degrees, and they're all struggling to actually find a job that's paying, right? That's kind of the hard part. Yes, they can get jobs, but I got to work in leisure and hospitality, right? So I got to be a waiter, a waitress, a bartender. I can get that job. I can get a sales job that requires me to cold call people on the phone and try to sell them stuff that I probably won't make a lot of money at because, let's face it, right, we all hate telemarketers. But that's about it. That's really about it. And so it's going to be interesting. I don't know. We'll see. The job market will be the key. If there are more going out of business stuff, then we'll watch. I'm worried about the retail space. I think that'll be the key. We know that the office space is dead. Commercial office space is dead. But if we start seeing it spread into the retail and then multifamily, that'll be another one. Let's watch for that too. So we'll see. To be determined. Again, though, I think there's going to be an avalanche of spending that is coming. This morning, Reuters is reporting that the debt ceiling now is making the rating agencies a little bit nervous. And Fitch has come out to warn that they're saying that while the U.S. Treasury can cover its obligations for several months. Now, remember, we're going to hit emergency actions next week. Congress must avoid the default. Fitch, which downgraded the U.S. government in 2023, said Tuesday that it was skeptical that a debt limit suspension or increase in other key fiscal policies decisions expected this year will actually be implemented quickly. Interesting that Fitch is saying, hey, we don't think this is going to get done in a very timely manner. They said the U.S. faces significant fiscal policy challenges in 2025. Listen, I tried to lay it out for you guys. I'm trying. The amount of debt that is rolling over, it is It's so big, it's hard to describe. And the amount of what I'll call low interest debt that rolls over this year, the interest expense is off the charts. And now we've got the bond market saying, guess what, guys? We're going to make you pay even more than what you were hoping to pay. And this is what Fitch is talking about. They're saying that it is unlikely that these issues can be resolved because of long-standing weaknesses in the federal government's budgetary process, and hopes that a one-party control of government could make it easier to rate the debt ceiling. They're saying that is not the case, and they said even with because they're going to do it, right, Jason? I don't think either one of us thinks the government, it may go to the last minute, but they're going to eventually raise that debt ceiling. Unfortunately, Fitch says the cost of insuring exposure to U.S. government debt has started to climb with spreads on default swaps. And risk of 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason here on this Wednesday. A quick update. The fire in L.A., the Palisades, Malibu, and others just growing exponentially now. 5,000 acres, 0% containment, 1,000 structures have already burnt to the ground. You see pictures, bulldozers bulldozing cars off roads. People are trying to flee, and essentially, nope, can't go. Park your car and walk away, and here comes the bulldozer so the fire trucks can get through. 1,400 firefighters fighting this fire right now. We'll keep you posted. Again, this matters now. Didn't used to. Boy, does it now. And then how about Fitch saying, hey, by the way, you guys want insurance on the U.S. Treasury market? Yeah, it's going to cost. That's just incredible news. And then, of course, Fitch just laying it out. Hey, get ready. Right? We're seeing the downgrades have been coming. They take forever. By the time these companies are, the rating agencies actually do the downgrade, right, it's already too late. It's already way too late. Take advantage here. Be smart here. We've had great premiums all of 2024. They've been fantastic. They've gotten better. They've gotten better. I don't know how it can, but it is. So we've been running some $20 gold pieces at below spot. Right now, spot $26.67. And get those 20s at $26.50. But now I've got 20 Canadian maple leafs, 1 ounce Canadian maple leafs, $26.50. I've got 20, actually I got 30 1 ounce American Gold Eagles. You guessed it, $26.50. So let's review. You pick it. $20 gold, $26.50. 1 ounce maple leafs, $26.50. 1 ounce American Gold Eagles, $26.50 at 800-951-0592. Now, Jason, there's been some reports, some YouTubers that don't deliberately give bad information. Okay, like anybody that believes you can have a gold IRA and store it at your house, you're sadly mistaken. It's a scam. Just is. Don't do that. But you'll see gold companies and stuff out there say that you can. You cannot. Matter of fact, the IRS expanded the tax code on that. We're trying to confirm it. There may be a change in the tax law. There's a bunch of states that either want to legalize gold and silver or have legalized it entirely, and that may be a change coming in this tax code that you'll be able to buy and sell gold and silver with a very few exceptions without 1099. So we're looking into it. Right now, I will say that the sources that have reported it they're good. They're good sources. Haven't seen it yet. But, Jason, that could be coming here very, very soon where at least the initial reports, you'd have to be buying like 100-ounce gold bars or selling multiple 100-ounce gold bars and things like that before you would kick off a 1099. Stuff that what at least is being reported, stuff that we don't sell and most people don't. They may require 1099, but 1099 requirements may be going away for the vast majority of all the gold and silver out there.
Yeah, it looks like almost all 1 ounce stuff is right. Just when you sell it. If you have 300 1 ounce gold coins, and that being anything, I watched several of these a couple of days ago. I didn't get deep into it. As Joe knows, I've been super busy with a lot of stuff on my plate right now. But I will dig deeper and I'll get the actual answer, or Joe will himself. But it appears what's happened is the 1099 reporting has changed. When you sell to somebody like us, we have to put a 1099 on you if it's over $10,000 on certain products. It looks like they've changed that to where it looks like you could give us 100 gold eagles and sell it to us. We wouldn't have to report it. But if you have a 100-ounce gold bar, you would have to report it. Or 3 kilo bars, you'd have to report it. Silver looks like you'd have to have 1,000-ounce, the big 1,000-ounce bars and multiples of them before we would have to do a 1099. This is something I think was starting in 2024, and from what I can tell, the 1099 reporting has been very much relaxed, which. I don't know, Joe. I think that indicates that there's a lot of on-top pressure to get that stuff bought and get it bought up and make it go upwards, and that's what we're seeing. We're seeing a glut in the wholesalers, us, the retailers, with so much being so many people that don't have money or that have reasons that they need to pay for taxes or pay for the inflated price of goods and services, and it's just a lot of selling pressure. Not on the retail selling has been very sparse. And Joe, this is just it's interesting. If you got all of this selling going on, and this is going all 2023 or 2024, we've had all this selling going on. There's a glut in the amount of stuff that wholesalers and retailers are holding, and now they do this rule to say, "Hey, keep on sending it." I mean, think of what that message is to the biggest buyers. They're wanting it to go up in one direction. The prices are staying high, which they probably shouldn't. Joe, you've done this way longer than me. With the amount of selling we have and the lack of retail sales, the price shouldn't be here unless the biggest of the big are buying it.
And the problem is that was when the West controlled the market. I think what we're seeing now is the West doesn't control the gold markets any longer. That is now in hands of the East, where the buying just doesn't stop. Patriot Radio News Hour, $20 gold, gold maple leaf, gold eagles, all below spot, $2,650. 0592, the biggest gold sale in Patriot history. It's not even close. $20 gold pieces, 1 ounce silver maple leafs, 1 ounce American gold eagles. Now, I will say this, supplies are limited, but all of them at below spot here. Spot 26.68 right now. Spot is up over $18, 26.68. So as of right now, $18 below spot. So think about what spot means. What is spot? People are like, what are spot? Why can't I? You know what? We get this call all the time, and Jason will back me up. People are like, have never bought gold before. Well, why do I have to pay more? My TV says that gold, by the way, TV gold 26.81, but the TV says gold's $2,680. Why can't I buy gold for $2,680? Understand what that is. That is a contract to deliver 100 ounces of gold in a bar form. That is 0.995 fine. In these contracts, right, they're like, right now we're in the February gold contract. Then we'll have like what, an April or a May contract and an August contract. And I mean, they got contracts out to 2026, 2027, 2028. Gold miners will do it to raise money. And how that works is they tell the investors, hey guys, I got this hole in the ground in Ghana. Why not, right? The Congo, wherever it may be. And I'm going to be able to get 500,000 ounces of gold out of this hole. Now, it's going to take me a couple of years to get there. But see, I need money now to get it. And they can sell these 100-ounce bars in the future, right? Get the money today, pay it back later, right? That's what these contracts are now. And then, of course, you got the gambling guys, the paper contracts. I'm just going to place a bet that gold's going to go up or gold's going to go down. But remember, these are contracts for gold that is still in the dirt. That it's got to be mined. You got to put it into a bar form. It's got to be shipped to the markets. And then, of course, to make it a coin, let's just use the U.S. Treasury as an example. There's a company called Sunshine. They make all kinds of stuff. They make tons of rounds. They make a lot of unique stuff, but they buy the gold and silver for the U.S. Treasury. The Treasury tells Sunshine, hey, guys, this is how many 100-ounce gold bars we're going to need for delivery in February. And Sunshine will go and buy them. And then Sunshine will take those bars and melt them back down. And they call them planchets. And they're just basically gold and silver disc. They're blank. Right? There's nothing on them. They're 1 ounce silver disc, 1 ounce gold disc. And then they send them to the U.S. Mint. And then the Mint, in their mint machines, their presses, press the design on the coins. And then they package them up, right, and sell them. There's 8 different distributors, and then we buy from the distributor. So that's how it works. So there's no way to buy physical gold below what you see on your TV, below the spot price, because you can see the process that it has to go through until right now. And now we've got them all. The $20 gold piece, the 1 ounce Canadian maple leaf, the 1 ounce American gold eagle, they're all below spot at $2,650. And just to give you an idea, the U.S. Mint normally are a cost on a gold eagle, as an example, $2,755 would be the normal cost for dealers like us, and sometimes $2,800. I mean, it's usually between 3% and 4% over spot would be our cost. So, Jason, when you're looking at when buying these things, you're saving easily $100 or more up from cost. Not to mention that you're below spot. I mean, that's insane.
And the conversation that we're having, Joe, is getting me wondering, as we talk about the retail sales are down and there's still there's a glut of just lots of people are selling. And if it continues like this, you would think, okay, well, at some point it's just going to kind of break the prices and spot's going to go down. But what Joe's saying and what we're talking about, we may have a glut of gold and silver on the retail side, and the prices might just keep going up. And if there's a change in the world market, as Joe was talking about, it's going eastward, we might see a price jump like something we've never seen before, Joe, right? Especially when this big market crash we've been talking about happens. You can see 2,600 gold go to 5,200 gold, and it can happen rapidly, Joe.
800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour, final segment on this Wednesday. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Wednesday. I'm not ready to officially declare it, but it appears that the U.S. government is changing reporting requirements for gold and silver. Of course, the problem is they can change it back, but
right.
It appears that now you can sell back Maple Leafs 1 ounce coins in any quantity. Same thing with fractional coins. There are some exceptions. Some of the foreign stuff that the IRS doesn't list. If it's not on this list, you got to pay. You got to get 1099. But it's we're going to keep looking at it. But we have gotten it. Jason's got. We're there's a lot of verification here. We're going to go through the steps just to make sure. By the way, gold up $21, $26.70. Silver up 20 cents, $30.20. The Dow and whatnot treading water today. But a warning out of Fitch saying they don't anticipate a quick end to this budget problem. And I get it. The majority in the House is so small that, you just have a couple of Republicans that, no, I don't want to spend it all. Like, let's do the right thing here. Well, hold up. This is going to be highly leveraged. Fitch, just kind of like we do. They're thinking this is going to eventually get done, and it's going to get done with a boatload of spending on top of really, really high interest rates. Buckle up here. But once again, by the way, you have till the end of the day, because whatever I have left, because I got about 20 of each. I got 20 20s, 20 Maple Leafs, 20 Gold Eagles. we're just going to turn around, dump it to the wholesaler and take our profits and move on. So if you want to buy gold below spot right now, you've got till the end of the day or till we run out, right? Obviously, if we run out, we run out. So that's what they're going to be looking at, Jason.
And is there a little bit of a weight on the Eagles and the Maple Leafs? Is there a little bit of a weight?
It won't be long. It won't be long. The $20 gold pieces, they're already ready to rock and roll. We'll have those up to Colorado early next week. We'll have here in Phoenix already, but you'll be able to get them before the weekend is out. But I want to give you an idea. You know, and I told you about what gold eagles cost and whatnot. Right, so you're talking about like $2,935. So you're looking at a profit margin of about 7%. For us on a normal deal. But you can buy these ones here at $2,650. That's the type of savings that we're talking about. It is absolutely massive. Even on $20 gold, $20 gold, $2,770. Well, now it's $2,650. 800-951-0592. Jason and I are coming right back with the hat